All right, guys, welcome back. It is time to review the safety contract. This safety contract is an abbreviated version of a full science safety contract, and it's to go over the safety rules that we need to practice every day. My classroom is our lab classroom, and so we need to be aware and practice these safety rules, whether it's a day that we're taking notes or whether it's a day that we're doing really cool labs. So please read along with me as I kind of read them to you. So our science classroom is going to be a hands-on lab class. However, science activities do have a potential to have hazards. We will use some equipment and materials that may be dangerous if not handled properly. And this is also true even if they're things that you could find in your regular home. If not used properly or not handled properly, they could be dangerous to you or your peers or myself. So to ensure a safe classroom at all times, a list of rules has been developed called the Science Safety Contract. These rules must be followed at all times. Additional safety instructions will be given for each activity. No science student will be allowed to participate in science activities until this contract has been signed by both the student and your parent or guardian, as well as this video watched and the questions answered with 75% passing or better. So safety rules. So this is an Edpuzzle video. You need to watch it. You need to answer the questions as they pop up on your screen. And you need to pass with 75% or better. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it again before you're able to do the cool stuff. So number 1, conduct yourself in a responsible manner at all times in the safety room. No horseplay, practical jokes, or pranks will be tolerated. So horseplay, anything that you would do during gym class or out at recess, anything that you would probably do in the basement with your buddies is probably not something that you should be doing in my classroom. We want to conduct ourselves as responsible as possible. Follow all written and verbal instructions carefully. Ask me if you have any questions or don't understand. I would rather answer a question than have you guys do something wrong, but it's also important that you listen to something the first time around as well. Don't touch any equipment, supplies, animals, or any other materials in the science room without permission from the teacher. I teach several classes, and a lot of times I'll have a lab set up for a grade that may not be yours. And even though it might look cool, even if it's something that you might know what it is or you think it's safe, don't touch it unless you've been given permission to do so, because I don't want you to mess up somebody else's experiment, or I don't want to have to prep something twice. Only performed authorized and approved experiments. Do not conduct any experiments when the teacher is out of the room. So you might have some cool pieces in front of you, but make sure you're following the directions. You're doing what I'm asking you to do with those pieces. Don't go out on your own and try your own stuff. Never eat, drink, chew gum, or taste anything in the science classroom during lab time. This is a regular classroom, and it is a science lab at times. You are allowed drinks in here, preferably water, and periodically you can have a snack, although I would ask permission before snacking, and you don't just snack all the time without permission. But when it comes to lab things, a lot of the stuff that we do looks like regular food, or it looks like regular things out of my kitchen. And sometimes it is, but sometimes the materials that we're using, or sometimes it's been in the lab for a really long time. It might be 10-year-old gummy worms. And even though you're thinking, I still like 10-year-old gummy worms, we're not going to eat certain things. So make sure you're paying attention to what I'm saying you can eat and what you can't eat during lab time. If you want to be daring and eat something that you're not supposed to, 1, it could harm you. 2, it's going to lead to an automatic detention. And 3, you may not be able to continue with that experiment or experiments in the future. So it's really just not worth the risk or the reward of eating a gummy worm or something like that. Wear safety goggles or glasses when instructed. Never remove safety goggles or glasses during an experiment. There will be no exceptions to this rule. The big rule of thumb is if I have safety goggles on, then you should have safety goggles on. These regular glasses that you use to read or see far or see close are not safety goggles. If you wear regular eyeglasses, you do need to wear goggles at the same time or instead of. I can put safety goggles over my glasses. Sometimes I choose to just wear safety goggles and not my glasses. My personal reason for wearing glasses is to see far away. I use my glasses to be able to see far away so I can survive without having them on at times, but there are some people who can't. So you either need to wear just goggles or you need to wear your goggles and your glasses. Wearing regular corrective lenses are not considered goggles. Once again, rule of thumb, if I have goggles covering my eyes, then you need to have goggles covering your eyes. Number 8, keep your work area and science room nice and clean. Please put things back how I have them set out, or listen to instructions on how to put things away. Keep all work areas and equipment at the end of the experiment. Return all equipment clean and in working order to the proper storage areas. Follow your teacher's instructions to dispose any waste materials generated by the experiment. Some things I will ask you to just put back. Other things I will ask you to throw away. Other things go in a special container, and other things go down the drain. So it's really important that you listen to how to dispose of the different materials that we're using. Report any accident to me. I would rather know about it than not know about it. That way I can handle it properly. I'm not going to get mad over an accident. So an accident is considered a fire, a spill, a breakage, an injury, a cut, a burn, broken equipment. Make sure that you're telling me as soon as it happens. Number 12, consider all chemicals used in the safety room to be dangerous. Do not touch or smell any chemicals unless specifically instructed to do so. And I'm going to demonstrate how we smell something in the science room, so I'm going to use my coffee cup here. Okay. When you smell something, you don't stick your nose in and smell it. But what you do is something called wafting. So you kind of take your hand over top and you kind of push the vapors towards your nose and you smell kind of what's on top. You don't stick your nose in and smell it, but you waft any odors towards you. That is how you smell things appropriately in the science room. Once again, even though it looks like food, don't eat it unless I specifically tell you that you can. When you're carrying a microscope, you want to use both hands. You're going to hold the arm on one side and the base on the bottom when carrying a microscope. 14, never open my storage cabinets without permission. 15, do not remove chemicals and equipment and supplies from the science room without permission. Handle all glassware with care. 16, never pick up hot or broken glassware with your bare hands. Glass looks no different, hot or cold or room temperature, unless it is so hot it is melting, and even then it doesn't always look different. So you want to make sure that you're approaching all glassware with caution. 17, use extreme caution when using matches, a burner, or a hot plate. Only light burners when instructed to do so. Don't put anything into the flame unless I've told you what to put into the flame. And when working with burners, we want to make sure that we have our hair tied up in a ponytail, those of us with long hair. We want to dress appropriately. I will tell you the days that this is necessary. So days that we're doing things with certain chemicals or flame or something like that, you want to dress appropriately. Long hair must be tied back. No long dangling jewelry. No loose or baggy clothing. You'll be told ahead of time when this is necessary. Number 19, learn where safety equipment is located and how to use it. Know where the exits are located and what to do in case of emergency or fire drill. We will talk about this one a little bit more in class. The fire extinguisher is by the door. The fire blanket is over by the windows above the lab counter. The eye wash station is at the back of the room by the lab counter. The safety shower is out in the hallway in the custodial closet right next to my room. The safety bucket I keep right underneath this fire extinguisher. If we were to do any sort of drill or evacuation where we had to leave the room, someone please grab the safety bucket and take it with us. Our primary exit is the door. Our secondary exit is the window. Hopefully we only ever use the primary exit. So what you're going to do, now that you've reviewed this safety contract and answered the questions, make sure that you fill out the agreement down here. So you're going to write your own name here, print it clearly, please. So you're going to say, I have read and understand each of the above safety rules set forth in this contract. I agree to follow them to ensure not only my own safety, but also the safety of others in the science room or laboratory. I agree to follow the general rules of appropriate behavior for a classroom and at all times avoid accidents and provide a safe learning environment for everyone. I understand that if I do not follow all the rules and safety precautions, I will not be allowed to participate in the science activities. So you will sign and date here. Then your parent or guardian is going to read and sign this portion here. Dear parent or guardian, we feel that you should be informed of the school's effort to create and maintain a safe science classroom. Please read the list of safety rules. No student will be permitted to perform safety activities unless this contract is signed by both the parent and or guardian and the student. And it is on file with the teacher. What this means, on file with the teacher, means that you need to bring a copy back to me, and that needs to be the one that's signed by you and the one that's signed by your family. You'll notice that the handout that I gave you in class has 2 pages that look exactly the same, and they're stapled together. The reason why there's 2 pages that look exactly the same is when you enter in a contract with someone, it is customary for each person to have a copy of the contract. So one copy you're going to sign, your parents are going to sign, and you're going to bring back to school, and I'm going to keep with me. And then the other copy is for your records, for you and your parents to have for your own personal records. So your signature on this contract indicates that you have read the safety science contract and reviewed it with your child and are aware of the measures taken to ensure the safety of your son and daughter in the science classroom. So they're going to sign and date here. And then I would like you and them to answer these questions here. Does your child wear contact lenses? Yes or no? Is your child colorblind? Yes or no? Does your child have any allergies? Yes or no? And if it is a yes, please list what your allergies are. So your name can be on the front of this document, but also make sure that your name is very clearly written on the back of this document. Make sure that you, the student, are signing it, your parents are signing it, and you are answering these questions right here. Have that filled in by the due date that I give you. Watch this video, and I hope you did well on the test, and we can start the cool stuff very soon. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.